Hi, this is Kivi Naiman. I'm an advisor in Central East, and you're watching the NCSY Alumni YouTube channel. This week's Parshas Behar, opens up with an interesting law. It's called the law of Shemitah. The way Shemitah works is that every 7th year, farmers would stop working. Any field in the land of Israel would be left empty. For the first 6 years, the farmers work, and they try to save up a little bit, and every 7th year, no planting, no plowing, nothing. No harvesting, they just leave the field out. And that's how it worked, every 7 years on a cycle. This is a very big mitzvah. It's kind of like a Shabbos for the whole year. Every 7th year is a Shabbos year of no working the land, no farming the land of Israel. However, the way the Torah introduces this law is very interesting. The Torah says, "Vayidaber Hashem al Moshe Behar Sinai lemor." Hashem spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai saying. The question that Rashi asks, he says, why does it have to say Mount Sinai? Isn't it true that every law was given at Mount Sinai? Why does the Torah feel the need to reiterate that the laws of Shemitah were also given at Mount Sinai? They were also given at Har Sinai. It's a very good question. Before we answer, I want to tell a little story. The story is about the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidism. Baal Shem Tov was a very holy and saintly master, but he had an interesting thing he liked to do. He liked to go around the towns and meet with simple Jews, see what the heart of the nation was feeling, see what he can glean from a simple person. And on his journeys, he one time came across a Jew who spent a long time davening. This Jew would go to shul and he would sit there for hours and hours and hours. And the Baal Shem Tov was intrigued. He said, wow, this Jew seems so special. What does he do? So after shul, he finally waited 4 or 5 hours later. And he walks over to this Jew. He says, wow, why do you daven so long? So the Jew turns bright red. He says, to be truthful, I'm embarrassed. I don't know how to pray. I don't know when the morning prayers are, when the evening prayers are. I only know how to read Hebrew, but I don't understand the meanings at all. So I'm just going through the entire book every time. I take my siddur, start from page 2, go all the way to the last page. Every single time. Come again for afternoon prayers, for mincha. Do the same thing. I'm not so holy, I just don't know better. I'm a fool, I'm an ignorant person. Don't think I'm so special. So Baal Shem Tov said, you know what? I'll teach you how to pray. The Baal Shem Tov sat with him for many hours. And they took a piece of straw and he said, this is where the morning prayers begin, this is where the morning prayers end. And he put a little marker in and he said, this is where the afternoon prayers begin, this afternoon prayers end. And then he put a little note and said, oh, this is special for the holidays and this is special for the Shabbos. And he went through the entire book and this Jew was so happy. He finally had such a siddur. He had such a prized possession. He's like, this is amazing. I could do something. I could pray. I could be like every other Jew. And the Jew is dancing and dancing and dancing. And Baal Shem Tov quietly leaves. Meanwhile, while this Jew is dancing, it's like Simchas Torah for him. He's running around in circles, waving the siddur, so happy. And he let go for a second, and all the little pieces of paper, all the little straws, all the little notes that the Baal Shem Tov put in just flutter all over the floor. And he's broken. He said, no, we just spent hours putting, the morning prayers, afternoon prayers, and now it's all on the floor. I don't know what goes where in my siddur. So he gathered up all the little notes, all the little pieces of straw, and he starts running outside to look for the Baal Shem Tov. But the Baal Shem Tov already left the town. The Baal Shem Tov, as he was leaving the town, came to a river. The Baal Shem Tov looked both ways, made sure no one was watching, and decided to perform a miracle to overcome the river. So the Baal Shem Tov was known to do miracles, but he didn't want everyone to know. So he took off his gartel, this Hasidic belt that he had, and he threw it across the river. And as soon as the other end landed on the other side of the river, it became taut and very tight. And he just walked across it like a bridge. This Jew, meanwhile, is chasing the Baal Shem Tov, and he sees this happen in the distance. He's like, what could I do? What could I do? So he runs to the river, and the river's raging. I can't swim. I don't know what to do. Well, I saw the Baal Shem Tov throw his gartel, throw his belt over the river. Maybe I'll do the same thing. And he throws his belt over the river, it becomes tight, and he walks across also. So finally he catches the Baal Shem Tov, and he taps him on the shoulder. Baal Shem Tov's blown away. How could somebody follow me across the raging river? And he looks at this Jew, and he's like, how'd you get here? He said, well, I saw you throw your belt, so I threw my belt. Baal Shem Tov said, you know what? You can go pray. You can pray the way you normally do. So now let's go back to our Parsha, the laws of Shemitah. The laws of Shemitah, the Netziv explains, sometimes seem like they require a lot of faith, right? The laws of Shemitah saying every 7th year, I want you not to go to work. It's telling every farmer in Israel, don't work, don't do anything, just chill at home, rely on your retirements, rely on your savings, and that's it, and know that God will provide. Have faith, have emunah. And a simple person might be like, what? That can't be for me. That law is only for the saints. It's only for the big rabbis. It's only for the holy masters. It's not for a simple Jew like myself. I can't do that. So the Netziv points out, no. The Torah introduces the laws of Shemitah with the words Behar Sinai, at Mount Sinai, meaning the same way that this Jew was at Mount Sinai and every ancestor of every Jew is at Mount Sinai, so too that mitzvah applies to you. Shemitah applies to you. Shemitah is for everyone. It's even for a simple person who might think, well, I'm not such a special person. The same way that Jew thought, I don't really know how to pray. I'm simple. I'm a fool. I just read the whole siddur. I don't know better. But that Jew was able to perform miracles. That Jew with his simple faith and his simple desire to just learn how to pray and learn how to connect to God was able to throw his gartel, his belt across the river, and it became tight. Just like the Baal Shem Tov, just like a holy Hasidic master. And that's what Shemitah is. Shemitah is saying every single Jew is so special. Every single Jew has the ability to have such a strong emunah, to really believe in Hashem, to really believe Hashem will provide, that he'll be able to walk away from his field for a full year and say, I'm not working. I'm not doing anything. I trust Hashem will put food on my table and clothes on my back. And that's what the Netziv says is the significance of this pasuk, of this introduction of Bahar Sinai, of Mount Sinai, to the laws of Shemitah. That's the lesson we could all take out of it. That even though we may not be living in Eretz Yisrael, some of us, we may not be in the land of Israel currently, we can know that this year is a Shemitah year. It's a time where we can just strengthen our emunah, our faith. We can say, I know Hashem is there, and I believe in Hashem regardless of anything else. Regardless of how much I think that faith requires me to be the biggest saint, I know I'm not a saint. You know what? I still believe in Hashem. And may we all be blessed that we should be zocha and we should be worthy and merit to really feel this faith. Have a good Shabbos, everyone, and please subscribe to the channel. Shabbos.